Hi, my name is Joe Calcavecchia. I've been a commercial tyer for about 25 years now. I also teach classes. We're going to tie right now one of my favorite flies. It's a glorified deceiver. I use it down Joppa Flats in the Merrimack River in Newburyport, Massachusetts. So it's a really good fly. I really enjoy it. It's a fairly simple tie, but it takes some material. I'm going to start off with some white bucktail. And I always like putting white on the bottom of my flies. It just imitates any type of bait fish. So what I like to do is start off with some white bucktail. Now we're going to take this here from the bottom end of the tail. That's where it's heavier and thicker, and that's going to help hold those feathers up much better. So we cut it, measure it, put it right on. Now that's our base for the fly. Okay, we've got that nice white bucktail right on the bottom there. That's going to help hold up our feathers. We're going to use some olive grizzly. Now the olive grizzly that I want to use is the stuff right from the top. That's where it's the most webby. So what I do, I lay out two and two lefts and two rights. I lay them right on my leg, pick them up, bring them over. I'm going to measure it right on top. We're going to make this fly about 7 or 8 inches long. You tie these here on all at once. Lay right on top. Now if you notice, those feathers are sitting right on top of the bucktail. Then we're going to add some flash material. I like root beer crystal flash. Add on about a half a dozen, and what we do, we pull it out. So we have all uneven ends on both sides of the fly. We'll lay it on one side, a few wraps, fold it over, a few wraps. Now we have crystal flash on both sides of the fly. Now we're going to add on some holographic flashaboo. We don't need a lot of this stuff, just a few strands, 3 or 4 strands, that's about it. And we're going to put that on the same way. Pull it out so it's even on both sides. Lay it on one side. Fold it over. Bring it right on the other side. Now we're adding on some Bill's Body Braid, pearl. That helps form the body of the fly. Now we want to bring that thread about halfway down the hook. We're going to add on some white bucktail. We're still forming the body here. So what we want to do is try to find some white bucktail that is long and crinkly. The longer and the more crinkly it is, the better. What's nice about that there, though, is that by using the crinkly bucktail, you don't have to put a lot on because you're still going to get the bulk that you're looking for because it's going to flare out nice. Now we just put it on a little bit like that there, and then we hit it with our thumb. Now when we hit it with the thumb, it rolls over. Okay? We got to match both sides. So we put some on this side towards me, and now we're going to put some on the other side. Okay, that looks good. Okay, now we got the body formed the way I want it. Now we're going to start doing the top of the fly. So we're going to top it off with some olive bucktail. We want the olive bucktail about the same length as the white bucktail. If you didn't notice, I just changed over to black thread. I want the head of this fly black. All right, that looks a little better. All right, now we've got the first layer of bucktail on, which is the same length as this here. I'm going to put on another layer of olive bucktail on top of this now. It's going to be a little bit shorter, so it gives us more of a profile as we're trying to build up that fly like this here. So we cut it, hand stack it, measure it. Now it's going to be just a little bit shorter. Looks like that there. So I measure it, cut it. I'm going to put that right on top here now, just like this here. And this is going to be our throat. So we put it on. Okay, and we're going to top that off now with some peacock curl. Measure it, cut it, put it right on top. That's our topping. Okay, right now the whole back end of the fly is done. What we're going to do right now is add some eyes. What you want is a pliable cement. Put that on one side, put some on the other. And what we're going to do is let this set up. Once the glue sets up, we're going to epoxy that whole fly right at the head. We can use the new stuff that's out there, the light activated acrylics. And that's what we're going to use right now. Now we got a squeeze tube. What you want to do is just glue it right on there. Okay, I'm working the glue with the bobkin. That's just to give it the shape, and the rotary vise working it together. So we're forming that nice bullet-shaped head. That's what I want, is a bullet-shaped head, just like that there. So it cuts through the water nice, and it also casts nicely. Now that looks pretty good to me right now. It looks like a bullet to me. It looks like I have enough glue on both sides, so I'm going to hit it with the light. Right now that's curing immediately. Now with this new light activated acrylic, it will be a little bit tacky, so what you need to do is get some non-yellowing type of nail polish and just coat it real quick, and that will dry rock hard. And that's it, we're done. We just tied one of my favorite flies. It's a Joppa Flat Special. What it is, it's a glorified deceiver. I use it on the Merrimack River fishing Joppa Flats, and this fly has been responsible for more 40-inch fish than I can count. Again, Joe Calcavecchia.